Welcome everyone to another session of Bharat Ke Paramveer. I, Kaustubh Savan, on behalf of Indo-Science Education Trust, would like to hand over the mic to Veteran Group Captain Srikant Parvatkar sir and start this session.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Uh, a warm welcome to all of you on the episode 19, today 28th March 2021, a festival season for India and Indians. A warm welcome to all of you. Let's start our journey. Our famous ritual, our respect and warm regards to the 21 pyramid diamonds in the necklace of our Bharat Mata. Message for the young generations of India. अब तुम्हारे हवाले वतन साथियों. Now we move to the last war of the last century, that is the Indo-Pakistan Fourth War of 1999, which is called as Kargil War as well. So during this war, 4 Paramveers were awarded with the Paramveer Chakra, highest gallantry award. Captain Manoj Kumar Pandey for his bravery on 2nd, 3rd July 1999. Grenadier Yogendra Singh Yadav for his bravery on 4th July 1999. Havaldar Sanjay Kumar for his bravery on 3rd and 4th July 1999, and Captain Vikram Batra for his bravery on 7th July 1999. Out of the 4 brave hearts, 2 were awarded Paramveer Chakra posthumously, and 2 we are lucky to have them alive serving in the Indian Army still. These 4 episodes of last war of the last century with Pakistan are dedicated to the unsung heroes martyred, injured, alive or no more, and their family members who suffered enormously as a result of this war and all previous wars India fought. Every Indian, along with all their generations, shall remain indebted to them forever. These are 4 Paramveers of 1999 war. Today's hero is Captain Manoj Kumar Pandey. Lieutenant Manoj Kumar Pandey, his date of birth 26 June 1975, date of commission June 1997 at the age of 22 years, and date of death, martyrdom, on 3rd July 1999, 2 years of service life and 24 years of life, meaningful life on the planet Earth. What thoughts the 24-year young man can have? If death strikes before I prove my blood, I promise or I swear I'll kill the death. What a thought process. Kargil War, let's hear about this. The last of the 20th century misadventure of Pakistan Army, last of the 20th century war with Pakistan, and last of the 20th century defeat and humiliation of Pakistan. You can describe Kargil War like this. Brigadier General Pervez Musharraf of 1987 by now had chosen by the then Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif personally as Chief of Army Staff after dismissal of the then Chief of Army Staff General Karamat and superseding 2 senior generals. Political manipulations. The date was 6th October 1998. Immediately in the winter of 1998-99, the new Chief of Army Staff activated the plan Operation Badr and infiltrated the Pakistan Army soldiers into the 160 kilometers along the National Highway 1 into the territory on the Indian side of the LOC and occupied advantageous positions on the high mountains in the guise of Mujahideen. Peculiar reasoning for their army to enter Indian areas of LOC. The purpose was to control the movements of Indian Army on NH1 and choke the Siachen supplies, resulting in forcing India to withdraw from the Siachen Glacier. We have seen during Operation Rajiv, the then Subedar Bana Singh, who captured the Bana post and was awarded Paramveer Chakra for his bravery there. It was the brainchild of the then Brigadier General Pervez Musharraf, who wanted to take revenge of this defeat of 1987. So he wanted to control the movements on NH1, choke Siachen Glacier, supplies, don't allow the supplies to reach Siachen. And this will result in forcing India to withdraw from the Siachen Glacier, forcing India to settle broader disputes, Kashmir, and also internationalize the Kashmiri issue. There were three-pronged objectives for this misadventure. By early 1999, Pakistan had extended its defenses well across the LOC in the Moscow, Dras, Kaksar, and Batalik sectors. Infiltration was around 4 to 8 kilometers inside the Indian territory. A force of around 2,000 well-equipped soldiers of Northern Light Infantry and Special Services Group Commando, supported by artillery, mortar, and anti-aircraft missiles, moved in the Indian territory, directly overlooking the Srinagar-Leh highway. The first reports of intrusion came from shepherds. A patrol party of Major Saurabh Kalia and 5 soldiers were sent to assess the size and extent of intrusion. The patrol party never returned. Mountain war has a speciality that is always advantageous to the defenders because they are already in advantageous position and secure behind his defenses, while the attacker is totally vulnerable in the open as he has to climb steep slopes which are at times vertical and one has to make use of ropes to climb. In the place like Himalayas, the atmosphere, the climate throws additional challenges. On 10th June 1999, the Pakistan Army returned the cruelly mutilated bodies of Major Saurabh Kalia and his 5 soldiers to India. This created very anger emotions were at high throughout India. Now, the duration of Kargil war was from 3rd May 1999 to 26 July 1999, 2 months, 3 weeks, and 2 days. It resulted in India's victory at heavy price. 25 officers and 436 Jawans were killed, martyred. 54 officers and 629 Jawans were wounded. Many were disabled for life. For Pakistan, last defeat of the century, loss of credibility as a nation state, humiliation at international level, differences between the military leadership and political leadership, wherein the democratically elected prime minister of a country openly claimed that he was kept in dark about the Operation Badr. And an operation or a war of this nature, political leadership, the democratically elected prime minister is unaware of this. What a shame. Further, he adds that he came to know only from the then Indian Prime Minister Shri Atal Bihari Vajpayee, who rang him up on telephone and told him what is happening in Kargil. That's when he came to know about this. The entire war was planned by just 4 generals of Pakistan Army, keeping even the Air Force and Navy chiefs in dark. Very over-ambitious move, over-adventurous and misadventurous, one can say. These differences resulted in a military coup on 13th October 1999. General Pervez Musharraf held following appointments after the military coup. First, Chief of Army Staff from 6th October 1998 to 28th November 2007. Chairman Joint Chiefs of Staff Committee from 8th October 1998 till 7th October 2001. Defense Minister, 12th October 1999 till 23rd October 2002. Chief Executive of Pakistan from 12th October 1999 to 21st November 2002. And he became President of Pakistan from 20th June 2001 till 18th August 2008. Presently, he is in self-exile in Dubai under medical treatment. Country and the judiciary is waiting for his return for trial for high treason charges by staging a military coup, suspending the constitution and dismissing the democratically elected government as some of the charges against him. There are charges of murder of Benazir Bhutto against him. In 2019, he was sentenced to death for treason charges in absentia. He never returned. On 17 December 2019, he was sentenced to death for treason charges. But the same was later annulled by the Lahore High Court on 13 Jan 2020. Military coup or taking over the reins of the country by military leaders is always riding a tiger. You cannot, when democratically elected government is there, it has to be respected. That is the respect one has to give to the people's will. Now let's move to our slight diversion. Sorry for that, but these are the realities of life. Now, Major Captain Manoj Kumar Pandey, life before joining Indian Army. He was born on 25th June 1975 in Rudha village, small village of Kamalpur Taluka of Sitapur district in Uttar Pradesh. His father, Sri Gopichand Pandey, is a small-time hosiery businessman living in Lucknow, and mother Mohini is a homemaker. What a great homemaker she is. Manoj Kumar Pandey was eldest amongst three brothers and a sister. Humble background helped him aspire for big achievements, give 100% to achieve, and remain grounded firmly, and also spend wisely. Schooling at Uttar Pradesh Sainik School and Rani Lakshmi Bai Memorial Senior Secondary School at Lucknow. From childhood, he was very gutsy, adventurous in nature. Still, he was good in academics as well. He was good in sports. He had keen interest in boxing and bodybuilding. He was adjudged best cadet of junior division NCC of UP Directorate in 1990. He joined 90th NDA course and was commissioned in 111 Gurkha Rifles in June 1997. Commissioned in the Indian Army on June 1997, at the age of 22 years, he joined 111 Gurkha Rifles. A teetotaler and a vegetarian army officer. I'm mentioning this because there are a lot of misunderstandings about the army officers, and that needs to be clarified. Captain Manoj Kumar Pandey was a teetotaler and a vegetarian army officer. He had to learn to use kukri in hand-to-hand combat and slice the enemy ruthlessly in the demanding situation. At Kargil War, his kukri instructor must have felt proud of his pupil, Captain Manoj Kumar Pandey, because the way he used kukri, the instructor would have been very happy to see that. He was very humane by nature. And after passing out parade of NDA, when he was returning to his hometown along with his parents, his train had stopped at Jhansi railway station, and he had not eaten because he was not well. So he was given some thing to eat, food to eat. He was about to eat when he saw from the window that there's a one old lady who was a beggar, and she was asking for some money. So this young officer, this young man, gave his entire food to the lady, and the railway moved forward for his journey. The father was asking, why are you giving? It's your food. He said, no, she needs more than me. I'm young and I can handle this hunger for some more time. But this lady was very, very old and very, very weak. This is human nature. He was liked by all the ranks due to simplicity and honesty of purpose in all walks of life. Just within 2 years of commissioning, he was awarded nation's highest gallantry award, Paramveer Chakra, for his bravery at Kargil in capture of Khalubar Top. This was the first war fought with constant media coverage. The speciality of Kargil war is that the Indians got to see the real heroes for the first time, and not real heroes, as TV sets beamed images of armed forces soldiers and gritty young officers bravely climbing the peaks of Tiger Hill and Dras to flush out and evict the Pakistani soldiers. Actions of a Paramveer. Let's move how our young man at the age of 24 did for the country. Early May intrusion by Pakistan in the Kargil sector was reported. Same time, 111 Gurkha had just completed their tenure at Siachen and were to proceed to Pune for a well-deserved peace station posting. However, this had not to happen. The battalion was asked to move to the Batalik sector in Kargil. It was among the first units to be inducted in this sector. The unit was commanded by Colonel Lalit Rai and was assigned the responsibility of the Jubar, Kukkar, Tham and Khalubar areas, while their headquarters was located in Yeldor. As part of the battalion, Captain Pandey was involved in series of actions leading to capture of Jubar Top. In early July 1999, Bravo Company of 111 Gurkha Rifles was assigned the task to capture Khalubar Top. Captain Pandey was a platoon commander in the Bravo Company. He and his platoon were armed with the Insas rifles, required ammunition, and yes, that famous kukri for hand-to-hand combat to slash the enemy in the eventuality. It was dark night of 2nd July 1999. Captain Manoj Kumar Pandey looked at the dark outlines of his short, stocky Gurkhas grouped unevenly around him. They were all dirty, starving, and battle fatigued, yet brave. No external emotions displayed on the face of Captain Pandey, but felt deep warmth, love, and respect for them in his heart. Ahead was a 70-degree inclined steep climb for the task to reach undetected, surprise the enemy, and before they come to accept the reality, destroy the enemy's bunkers on top and establish Indian posts and furl the Indian flag before first ray of the 3rd July 1999. That was the task given to him. He knew the challenges will ensure many would not be able to see the sunset of 3rd July as well. They were experiencing a rodent's life for more than a month on almost continuous assignments, one after other, scampering up the hillsides in the darkness of night, finding shelter in holes during daytime with backpacks that held sleeping bags, extra pair of socks, shaving kits, letters from home. That's the energy. That's an energy boost for them. Letters from home. They would nibble on hard, stale puris when hunger struck. Though fresh water stream was flowing very closer by, they could never reach there due to enemy fire from top. Filling water bottles with crushed snow was a better and safe alternative to quench thirst during climb. Manoj could feel a faint rumbling in his stomach, hoped nobody in his platoon had heard it. Hunger pangs were striking. A cold puri was lying in the backpack somewhere. He did not bother about it much because eating it and chewing a cardboard would not be much different. The commander and his comrades had started walking in the darkness for almost nine hours. Sub-zero temperatures in the atmosphere were overcome by sweating due to arduous uphill climb. There was always fear of enemy presence on the ridges en route. Sleep deprived, tired soldiers were climbing for the target top, had encountered now snowfall and lost their way twice. And now it was already morning when they spotted the top of in a hazy outline. Now you had to take a decision whether to go back because it's already daytime now. Going ahead would be dangerous, but still going back also will not be easy. Getting spotted, there was a danger of getting spotted by enemy. Captain Manoj Kumar Pandey made up his mind and decided to complete the task and capture the Khubar top. No turning back. They would storm the enemy bunkers. In order to distract the enemy, the guns lined up all along the Indus were firing almost at least 20,000 rounds at a time. This would facilitate Manoj and his men to climb unnoticed so far, but this time the enemy fire was coming from close range Suddenly, one of his soldiers was hit by a bullet and he cried and collapsed. They were spotted by the enemy and bullets, rockets, and machine guns fire were coming at them with accuracy. He ordered everybody to take cover from behind the boulder. He saw death and destruction of his men, limbs torn apart, flesh ripped into, and blood seeping into the soil. He knew time is less and they have to storm the enemy in a broad daylight then and there right now. As soon as he made up his mind, the rush of adrenaline overcame the fear, nervousness, and indecision. Manoj stood up, tall and brave. Through the scream of the wind, he roared at the men who were fit to fight, ordering them to follow him through the hail of bullets. He walked into the curtain of shells and bullets. He did not look behind to see who had followed his command. But had he would have been very satisfied to see all the short-heighted Gurkhas had got up with equal zeal for the final assault. Everyone had kukris in their hand. Leaving behind those dead or dying, the men charged like angry lions to make the ultimate sacrifice for Mother India. Pandey reaches the first enemy bunker, takes out kukri in his hand before the two soldiers of uh, Northern Light Infantry, Pakistan, could realize what was happening. They were slashed into pieces. They could never imagine someone could walk in through the deadly fire. He, along with his Gurkhas, sprint across second bunker, pounce on the enemy with their battle cry, Jai Mahakali, Ayo Gorukhali. Suddenly, Manoj winces. He has been hit in the shoulder by a bullet unnoticed, unconcerned, and without any feeling of pain. He moves to the third bunker, firing from his insas, spraying the bullets on the enemy inside the bunker. Another bullet hits him in the leg, making him stagger unsteadily. He cries out to his comrades, Na chodno in Gurkhali, chodna ne, don't leave them. He drags his injured leg forward and takes the grenade in his hand, lobs it at the till now obedient body refuses to listen to his instructions and wishes. He can only watch as his hands let go the insas he's holding. His knees buckle under him and his neck slumps forward on his heavy chest. Blood flows down from the forehead into the eyes, blurring his vision. Spurt of light in the head is quickly followed by stark darkness and total silence. He closes his eyes involuntarily. He wants to see what is happening in the battlefield. He cannot. Captain Manoj Kumar Pandey of 111 Gurkha Rifle is dead. His crippled, blood-stained body falls gently in front of the bunker number 4 of Kubar. The 24 years and 7 days old son of India lived a meaningful life and is an inspiration and role model for the young generation of Indians to come. For his audacious courage and leadership during the Kargil War, he was posthumously awarded Paramveer Chakra, highest military honor of India. Citation: Lieutenant Manoj Kumar Pandey, a young officer of the 111 Gurkha Rifles, took part in a series of boldly led attacks during Operation Vijay, forcing back the intruders with heavy losses in Batalik, including the capture of Jubal Top. His finest hour was during the advance of Khalubar, when he was number 5 platoon commander on the night of 2nd, 3rd July 1999. As the platoon approached its final objective, it came under heavy and intense enemy fires from the surrounding heights. The officer was tasked to clear the interfering enemy positions so as to prevent his battalion from getting daylighted. Being in a vulnerable position, the officer quickly moved his platoon to an advantageous position under intense enemy fire and sent one section to clear the enemy positions from the right, while he himself proceeded to clear 4 other enemy positions on the left. Fearlessly assaulting the first enemy position, he killed 2 enemy personnel and proceeded to assault the second and destroyed it by killing 2 more enemy personnel. Lieutenant Manoj Kumar Pandey was injured on the shoulder and legs by enemy fire while clearing the 3rd position. Undaunted and without caring for his grievous injury, he led the assault on the 4th position, urging his men and destroyed the same with a grenade. Even as he got a fatal medium machine gun burst on his forehead, It is this singular daredevil act of the officer which provided the critical firm base for the companies which finally led to capture of Khalubar. Lieutenant Manoj Kumar Pandey thus showed most conspicuous bravery, indomitable courage, exemplary personal valor, outstanding leadership and devotion to duty of an exceptionally high order in the face of enemy, and made the supreme sacrifice in the highest traditions of the army. What a life. Sri Gopi Chandji Pandey, his father, receiving uh, Paramveer Chakra Award from the then President of India for his son's bravery with supreme sacrifice, Captain Manoj Kumar Pandey. What would be thoughts in his mind during this time? One can imagine. Collage and thoughts of 24 years Paramveer life, Paramoch life, Captain Manoj Kumar Pandey. And he was young. Then he joined the Sainik School. Then he joined NDA. While training at the NDA, young man, he was a writer also, he used to write. Then he joined army as a commissioned officer at Kargil during one of the moments with his troops, and finally his final journey. Some of the quotes of this 24 years mind I would like to mention. Some goals are so worthy, it's glorious even to fail. For his mother, he used to love his mother a lot. She is the star which shines brightly in the darkness, someone who will always give and bless. I think he defines all the mothers. If death strikes before I prove my blood, I promise, I swear I'll kill the death. Life after life of a Paramveer. He, Paramveer Chakra holder, Captain Manoj Kumar Pandey's home, and these are memories for his parents. They are living with this. His mother was invited when his one school was inauguration by Chief of Army Staff. Malik was there. She also was participating in that. Last journey of a Shaheed. I have made a collage. I feel this would be of some help to everybody to understand. Sad state of affairs. The family suffer. There's a permanent loss for the families, near and dear ones. The children, these two children, will the life be same again for them? It won't be. They will reciprocate for the country. The children, this is the next generation. Look at the expression of this boy. And then soldiers don't die, they rise and live forever through different bodies. In the service of Mother India, our Mother India, Jai Hind Kisena. What proud parents or mother should be. Food for thought. Soldiers don't die when bullets pierce their hearts and heads through their uniforms. They don't die when they fall before an enemy onslaught, or even when they get buried in trenches, staining the earth with their warm crimson blood, worshipping Mother India with their warm crimson blood, as per traditions of Indian Armed Forces. It's only when we forget their acts of bravery and or suffering of their physically alive families that the soldiers really die. Rachna Abhishek in The Brave. My appeal, you should not be one of them. Never forget your heroes. Acknowledgement, I wish to express sincere thanks and acknowledge the following sources for their contribution to completion of this presentation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Finally, Rashtraya Swaha, Idam Rashtraya, Idam Namama. This is the God's work I am doing, and it's dedicated to our country, our India. Jai Hind. I have finished.